Ager's Scepter. It is the ultimate champion destroyer, especially this season with being Overload. We've just destroyed the anti-barrier without anti-barrier weapons, and it's absolutely destroying Overloads this season. Stay tuned if you like the weapon. I've got a really nice build. So first things first, thank you for picking to watch the vid. If you're new, maybe consider subscribing. If you're not new and you've been here before, welcome back. I've got a really good build today for you around Ager's Scepter. I know the season's been a lot about the solar stuff and I've covered quite a lot of it, but I fancy showing you something different with Ager's this season. It is absolutely insane, really strong this season. It's Overload this season as well, Overload trace rifles, and the gun itself had a 40% damage buff to sort of red bars. I think all exotic trace rifles did a few months ago, so this season it's probably the best it's ever been, even though it's a solar. But the Ager Scepter this season is definitely really good, so I want to show you a build on how to get the best out of this and your best out of your Shadebinder subclass, how we can convert all that into getting really fast supers with Mantle of Battle Harmony and loads of extra damage again with Mantle of Battle Harmony. But the build, the sort of introduction to the build, it's all going to be based around this mod here: Elemental Shards, Stasis Shards, counter Stasis Elemental Wells. So all the shards that we're creating with our Ager Scepter, and all the shards that we're going to create with this one, Glacial Harvest. Anything we freeze, whether it's with our grenades, melees, or Ager Scepter, it's all going to create shards everywhere. And what's going to happen when we pick them shards up, we are going to get massive damage increase with Font of Might, and we're also going to be able to get a massive intellect boost with Font of Wisdom. That all pairs nicely with Mantle of Battle Harmony. I'll go more into the build as we go through the clips, but quickly touch on Ager's Scepter. Final blows with this weapon generate a slowing burst around the defeated target, so if you kill one enemy and there's 3 or 4 near it, it'll just freeze all 4 of them. And then the catalyst, what the catalyst does, it says once you've got your got your super fully up, you can drain your super slowly by holding your reload button, and it turns it into like a supercharged laser, so it does a ton of damage extra, which all works really nice with Mantle of Battle Harmony and the Font of Might going, and we're going to create loads and loads of elemental shards. I've got other stuff going on like radiant orbs as well, but I'll just show you some clips, see if we can see it all working together. So now I've just jumped in this little sector just to show you exactly what I'm talking about with the elemental shards and the Ager Scepter. So if we keep an eye on that bottom left of the screen, all these shards also that are coming towards me, we're getting so many benefits from these shards. We're getting Font of Might, we're getting Font of Wisdom going, so loads of extra damage, loads of super. You'll also notice that the shards are healing me. That's the way I've got my fragments and aspects set up on the actual Shadebinder. So these shards are giving us loads and loads of benefits, and we can create an infinite amount of these shards. Just a few more clips to show you how important getting the sort of elemental shards is. Again, if you look on that left hand side, we've got all sorts going on, and these shards are coming towards me, giving me an overshield. Not only did they give me an overshield, they do heal you also. So we're getting absolutely loads. I've popped the catalyst on it, the will given form on the Ager Scepter now, and it's just absolutely destroying. I've got some clips of some lost sectors as well to show you in a minute, but I just want to briefly touch on how Mantle of Battle Harmony fits into the build. So basically, Mantle of Battle Harmony splits into 2. While you don't have your super, all the weapon kills that you get that match your subclass, i.e. in this case it's Stasis, it's going to give you super energy extra, and then once you've got your super, instead of getting super energy, it gives you extra damage on the weapon that matches your subclass again, so you're going to get loads and loads of extra damage. It all stacks with a Font of Might also, so we're going to get a ton of extra damage. And now this is the sort of Agers in sort of harder difficulty, destroying Overload champs, creating elemental shards everywhere, picking them up to get all the benefits. I've popped the super here, the catalyst will given form, and it just destroys overloads easily. And not only that, they add clearing capabilities, and how the gun itself and the subclass just slows the play. You can totally control massive areas of spawn with it, and like I said, I'm not going to keep saying the same thing, but you're getting absolutely loads of benefits from these elemental shards. There's literally 4 or 5 things going on like that's benefiting you, so them shards are absolutely insane, and we can create absolutely loads of them whenever we want, and it's really good for champs, bosses, and pretty much everything. So the build is really solid. I've got more clips just to show you here. Anti-barrier as well as overload, no anti-barrier weapons, and it's just destroying that. This is a 1590 loss set to the clips. And then what I've also sort of figured out as well, what we can do, what I've been doing for a couple of seasons, is if you've got a stasis rocket launcher, i.e. the Palmyra B, you can sort of switch around like that and take benefits of the stasis weapon boost from the Font of Might with that as well. So as we're putting the Ager Scepter on, we can quickly switch. So in this clip here, you're going to see me stunning. I'm going to switch to my Palmyra B, the stasis rocket launcher, or you can even run things like Reed's Regret if you like. Switch, stick that on, switch back to my Agers and keep that sort of damage going. So we get damage from the Agers, damage from the Lasting Impression rocket launcher, Palmyra B that I've got. So yeah, overall the build is super strong, good for everything, add clearing capabilities. It just slows the gameplay like massively to your favour. You can totally control spawns, and like I said, we're getting absolutely loads of damage. I'll break the build down right at the end of the vid. I'll probably show you a few more clips of it all working together as well. But I hope you get a gist of the build, creating them shards, picking them shards up, getting heals. Font of Might going, massive intellect boost for our supers. So yeah, really strong. So this is now the full breakdown of the build. I will leave a dim link in the video description. I've already gone over most of the build anyway in the first section. That's just going to leave us with the actual shade binder aspects and fragments, but I've just got a couple of extra mods that I didn't mention, which would have been too much to sort of go over at the same time, overload you with information. But with everything else that you've seen, I always run this stasis siphon mod. Rapid stasis final blows create an orb of power, so every time we get our kills with our Ager Scepter, it's going to create us loads of orbs, and then we're going to take advantage of that with radiant orbs. Picking up an orb of power gives you the radiant buff, which has been pretty well documented this season. It's a 25% damage buff, and that's all stacking with Font of Might. So we're going to get a massive damage buff, and then that all works once you've got your super with Mantle of Battle Harmony as well. You get an extra bit of 20% damage on that as well. So once you've got your super and you're picking up them orbs, you get Font of Might going, you're picking up the shards from elemental shards, you're going to be on a roll. You're going to just freeze and kill groups and groups of enemies, and like you've seen in the clips, really good for champions. The aspects and fragments, the way I've got them set up is Ice Flare bolts, because not only with the Ager Scepter freezing stuff, these Ice Flare bolts are going to do a little travelling ice crystal along the ground and freeze everything that you kill that's frozen. Glacial Harvest, that's the one that's really important. Well, they're both important I think on this build, but this one's the most crucial out of both of them. Glacial Harvest, freezing targets, creates stasis shards around the frozen targets. So we've got multiple different ways of freezing enemies, and that's the one we need for elemental shards to work. Really important one. Your grenade, and this top liner you can run whatever you want as long as you can freeze something consistently with any of the grenades. Now, not only are we getting the Font of Might and the Radiant and all the sort of damage benefits, what also you get with these two, Whisper of Chains and Whisper of Hedrons, is other massive sort of benefits from the shards. We're going to get massive resilience and recovery after freezing a target. We're also going to take reduced damage from the targets as well. These two work really well together, Hedrons and Chains. Whisper of Conduction, all them shards that you see, we don't want to be running to them. All the shards are going to travel towards us, so you're going to be like a walking magnet for shards. And then the last one is Whisper of Rhyme. Whenever we collect them stasis shards, but obviously they travel towards us, whenever they sort of come towards you, they're going to heal you also and give you an overshield if you're at full health. So if you can imagine now, just one of these elemental shards that we're creating, all the benefits it's giving us sort of Font of Might, It's giving us a massive intellect boost, 2 things. Obviously it's boosting the damage of Ager's Scepter, Mantle of Battle Harmony, and on top of that you're going to get absolutely loads of other benefits with these fragments as well. So shards are the key. Create shards, get massive damage on Ager's. I hope the build's been good. Have a great day.